Good evening. Welcome to Education Worldwide informational webinar on what you can do today to improve your situation. This webinar will last approximately 45 minutes and end in a question and answer session. We're going to wait just a few minutes for latecomers to arrive or those that are loading up their computers or web pages to come in. In the meantime, I'll give you an information video on education worldwide. All right, my name is Randall Galera, and let's activate the camera so you can actually see me in live time. Good evening, everyone. I am acting as a student academic counselor for Education Worldwide. If you have any problems or issues during the enrollment process or during your studies itself, feel free to contact me at the email address that you see there. Now, some of my qualifications, my employment history: I've worked for major companies such as Morgan Stanley Dean Witter, THQ, Share Technologies, amongst many others. I hold a master's in audiovisual media arts, bachelor's in mass communication, and a TEFL certified teacher. This is the chat window that you're going to be seeing during the webinar. Down at the bottom, you will see two little boxes to everybody and chat. You can click there to ask a question specifically to me, or you can talk to other people in the chat. This will be an interactive webinar. If at any time during the presentation you would like to ask a question or look for more clarification on an issue, you can type it in chat and send it away. I will answer. There is a small delay though, so you just wait a few seconds and I will see the message when it appears on the screen. If at any time you'd like to hide the chat window, you'd like to see it in full screen, you can click on the red tab located on the right. Or at the very top, if you have an issue and need to reconnect to the broadcast, you can click there and it will refresh the broadcast for you. Now let us begin. The first question I'd like to ask you is, what do you want out of life? If you've attended this webinar, you're looking to improve something, perhaps your studies, your job opportunities, career prospects. The question is, what do you really want out of life? Now, that's a very difficult question to answer, one that we've had difficulty answering ever since we were children. The truth is, you may not know. Perhaps you want to learn a new skill or start a business. Maybe you're fresh out of secondary education or unemployed. Maybe you're interested in furthering your education, getting an advanced degree, research, knowledge are your goals. Maybe you started university but have not yet finished. Life got in the way and never completed your degree. Perhaps you want to be successful in business or the company that you work now. Promotions, executive status, corporate progression, that's the ladder you're looking for. If you're stuck at work, perhaps it's the job you hate or one without a future, there's one thing I can offer you that will greatly improve your chances of getting out of that situation and continuing down the road to success. That would be a higher education qualification. People want many things out of higher education: low cost, work opportunities, the global experience, entrepreneurship. We can split students into two different categories. One that follow traditional route and go to brick and mortar universities, and the other that is now starting to do online learning and e-qualifications. They're usually a bit older. They attend college or university part-time. They do classes online and face-to-face via webinar. They're financially independent, meaning they don't rely on their parents or relatives to fund their education. This is very important. And one of the most important aspects, they're looking for quality qualifications. Traditional students, their main goal is to find a school that they can afford. What we're going to discuss during this webinar are your career GPA, the goal, the plan, and the action that's needed to get you a higher education. We're going to discuss Education Worldwide, the accreditation that you can get at Education Worldwide, the courses and programs that we offer, the registration and enrollment process, and the next steps that you can take after you've completed everything. First, and most importantly, the accreditation. The most important aspect of a university is its accreditation. How legitimate are its degree programs? Well, Education Worldwide conforms to the UK system of education. You see, the Ofqual, the Office of Qualifications and Examination Regulations, that's the department that regulates qualifications, exams, and tests in the UK. You could think of them as a bit of a quality assurance. They determine if a qualification is officially recognized. Then you have the International Standard Classification of Education. It was developed by UNESCO to facilitate comparisons between education statistics and indicators across Europe. The National Qualification Framework, that's the division in UK that defines the link between credit values and different qualifications. So this says if you've got a program that offered 10 credits, they make the link between those 10 credits and a qualification for that particular subject that it's focused on. For example, 1 credit can equal 10 hours of nominal learning based on the RQF. The EQF, the European Qualifications Framework, relate to different countries' national qualification systems. This means the qualifications in each country will be equal based on the European Qualifications Framework. If you've got a qualification from, let's say, the UK, it should be accepted in France or Spain or Germany or anywhere else in the United Kingdom or anywhere else in Europe. Now, all of that and the governing body that offers these qualifications is ATHE, the Awards for Training and Higher Education. This is the governing body that will actually issue you that qualification. The qualification will be equal to the different qualifications listed in the European Qualifications Framework, and of course, regulated by the Office of Qualifications and Examinations Regulations. To put it simply, we offer qualifications that are accepted around the world. We've got locations in the United States, here in the UK, or in the Netherlands. What this means for you is that when you get a qualification from ATHE, you can go to any university, transfer those credits, and those credits will be accepted because it's based on the UK system of qualifications. Now, we've also got partnerships with many UK and international universities providing opportunities to progress to bachelor's and master degree top-ups. I'll explain that a little further on in the webinar. What does that really mean to you? Let's imagine a situation. A business or an enterprise in France may hesitate to recruit a qualified applicant from, for example, Sweden, because they do not understand the level of qualifications based on the Swedish education system. But once they have the EQF system implemented, their qualifications will bear reference to the same EQF level in France. The French authorities have already decided that this is equal, so the enterprise in France would be more likely to hire and recruit the person from Sweden because they understand the qualification level and it matches to their system. Now, this is a very important distinction to make. What is a qualification versus a degree? We see on the left a sample certificate, an ATHE qualification that is 120 credits that is awarded to that individual. On the right, we have a diploma from the University of Cambridge. So what is exactly the difference? I'll show you another short video that outlines that for you.
Certificates, diplomas, and degrees differ in the time it takes to earn each, as well as the credits required in order to graduate. Each of these academic achievements are suitable for certain specific fields or career goals. Diploma and certificate programs taken alone are similar to associate's degree programs. However, they take less time because general education courses are not required. A degree program differs from certificates and diploma programs in that it often requires the student to take general education courses to support a more rounded education. For instance, at many universities, those earning their bachelor's degree are required to take English, math, science, philosophy, and history. A certificate is earned by a student after taking a series of courses in a particular subject. Students often earn certificates to get a step ahead in the professional field of their interest, and certificates may be offered in similar programs leading to degrees. For instance, there are certificates in business, literature, and technical fields. In some technical programs, a certificate may be required. There are also graduate certificates, often taken either alone or alongside a graduate degree program. In some programs, the student may use his or her electives to fulfill a certificate in order to make him or herself more desirable to a potential employer. Diplomas are similar to certificates, and they're often awarded through community or technical schools. For instance, a diploma of nursing is offered as an alternative to an associate's degree or bachelor's degree. This diploma program is only offered at hospitals with specialty programs that provide training. An academic degree can be earned at many levels, including the associate's, 2 years, bachelor's, 4 years, master's, 2 years beyond a bachelor's degree, and doctoral, which is several years beyond a master's degree. Earning a degree also opens up more potential doors to a student than a certificate or diploma. Many careers require that the applicant has earned at least a bachelor's degree. Several career options require more than this.
Once again, these two documents, although they appear different in terms of the RQF and EQF, offer equal qualification. So, a qualification officially is a certificate of completion or expertise. This can be completed through e-learning or vocational courses or degree programs that are specific to that field of study. For example, medicine or law. A degree diploma is only offered at a brick and mortar university. You have to physically go to this place to get this degree diploma. Now, the reason is because they often offer more subjects in general education, like math and science, as explained in the video. Brick and mortar universities have specific qualification requirements that they have to meet being a physical university. An online university doesn't have to worry about some of those qualifications and offer these qualifications at a reduced price as a result of that. That's why universities are often a lot more expensive than online universities. Let's take another example. You've got 2 candidates that have degrees from university and 2 candidates that have fully accredited qualifications. Now, which ones do you think will get the job? Normally, in the old days, we can say the one from university would have a better chance. Online universities have progressed and changed and innovated in the past years. Now they're being seen as a definite indicator of work and experience when it comes to applying for jobs. The one who is the best fit for the job is now the one who's going to get it based on their qualifications in a university or online degree. You should not have to worry about your education being a negative factor when it comes to looking for work. And it's a shown and proven fact, of course, that the higher your education level, the lower the employment rate and the higher salary that you get. If someone is fresh out of secondary school or high school, as we say, they're not going to make so much on the spectrum. You may get lucky and get a great job, but you will definitely lose out to someone who's got a professional degree, bachelor's or a master's even. They will be making more money and have a more stable position. Now, the ATHE awards these qualifications based on the EQF and RQF levels. Levels 4 through 7, The equivalencies are as follows. Level 4 is considered your first year at university. You have amassed the same qualification as being in university for your first year. Level 5 is called the associate's degree. So you've gotten enough credits to have an associate's degree, and this is often used for vocational courses or specialized fields of study. Level 6 is your graduate's degree. This is the bachelor's equivalency. So you've completed 4 years of school and got the bachelor's degree. And level 7 is the postgraduate degree or the master's. Specifically, we can see in each country the equivalent of this level. The Abitur in Germany, the Matura, the Baccalaureate in France, and this is for level 4. For level 5, an associate's degree in the UK, we can see the HNC, which is the Higher National Diploma, or the Higher National Certificate, the RFQ levels 4 and 5, the Scottish Advanced Higher, or the associate's degree in the Netherlands. Now, level 6, which is our bachelor's program. This is the graduate degree. These are the equivalencies in those countries. We see Spain, we see Italy, we see Germany, and of course, the equivalence in the UK. This is based on the UK system of accreditation. For the master's degree, again, you can see the countries that are listed. Again, in Germany, Italy, Spain, and Portugal, the master's equivalency is accorded by level 7 qualification. Now, let's say you finish the program. You've got your qualification. What do you do now? You've earned your fully accredited qualification. Well, Education Worldwide can help you plan your next steps when it comes to education or the workforce. First, let's talk a little bit about the workforce. Maybe you're in a position now, IT tech field or business field, and you are not moving anywhere. There is no forward momentum. There is no upward progress. Or maybe you're working another industry, retail or hospitality, and you need a higher education degree to get out of that situation. Well, you can directly apply these qualifications to the workforce. Employers are looking for 2 things when it comes to an employee: education, and more importantly, experience. The experience that you've had already working will play a big factor in whether they consider you or not. Your education should not be a factor that hinders that. In fact, when you get one of these qualifications, it is a benefit because it is a specialized field of study. You are not just studying, for example, philosophy or geography. You are focusing specifically on IT or business strategic management and finance, and these are things that employers are looking for. If you were to go to the education route, however, let's say you wanted to top up and get a physical diploma, that is entirely possible with the ATHE qualifications. I'll explain that here in the next slide. The ATHE progression route, or the university top-up, works as follows. Let's say you've got 120 fully transferable credits. This is per unit, per level. So you've got, for example, a level 4 in IT and computing. That's 120 fully transferable credits directly related to IT and computing. You can complete the university requirements at any university that you apply to. Again, this is based on the UK accreditation system, which means it will be accepted all over the world. It is a respected accreditation, of course, governed and run by the Qualifications and Education Framework, and all the other governing bodies. Now, if you wanted to study abroad, you wanted to physically experience a different culture and different education system, that is entirely possible with this program. You take those qualifications, you apply at the university, and as I mentioned before, universities have special qualification requirements, which is why they're universities. Once you meet those qualifications, they can offer you a diploma degree based on the program that you've taken. Let's say you've done the master's qualification. It is not officially a master's degree until you write and defend your thesis, which you can do at the brick and mortar university. Once you apply at that university with that qualification, they'll accept you, you defend your thesis, and now you've got a master's degree from that university. Now, with ATHE progression routes, there are many university partners, for example, in the UK, that not only accept this program, but they offer discounts for students that have already taken those levels previously. London School of Business and Management, Northampton University, Southern Cross University. These will offer special programs to students willing to top up and get that physical education diploma. Now, what can you do with those? Well, we've got business management, IT, and computing offered at Education Worldwide, levels 4 through 7. Levels 4 and 5 deal with business management, IT, computing. Level 6 and 7 deal specifically with business management. Now, there will be further courses offered in the future, but we're focusing right now on these qualification levels: a BA Qual in Business Management or a Master's Qual in Strategic Management. And this is entirely possible through the e-learning platform we have at Education Worldwide. Distance learning once had a taboo of being not very quality. We've changed that. You can work and study at the same time. Most of the students today already have a job. They've already started their career. The world is changing. So now distance learning is becoming more and more respected. It's much more affordable. You no longer have to travel to a location, travel to a new country, spend the money that the university needs for operating costs when you could spend it directly on your education. And of course, you could study at your own pace. How many times have you been in a situation and you've not understood maybe a math equation or a philosophical statement, and instead of raising your hand and interrupting the lesson, you sat quietly and thought, well, perhaps I'll go home and I'll read the book and maybe I'll talk to another student and it'll be clear then. With online distance learning, you can study at your own pace and repeat the materials as many times as you want. How much time can you dedicate? Well, that's really up to you. But if you were to study about 2 hours per day, it would take you approximately 1 year to finish an entire course. A course can look something like this. This is an example of the online university curriculum that we've got at Education Worldwide. Let's assume this is your first module in your first year of school. It covers a broad range of topics and prepares you how to learn on an online platform. For example, computers and society, social issues, legal issues. This is all related to IT. It gets more technical, of course, as you go through the modules until you finally get that equal qualification level. The online platform is very easy to use. They've got profile area, a course area, an area for all the materials and media, and the forums. As an example, there's the business plan e-learning platform. You'd go through the lesson, and at the end, perhaps there's an assessment or further learning materials to help you with the course. There are video lectures and webinars that are offered for each course. This means a professor will lead a class and you can attend, you can ask questions, you can interact with the class just like you can in this webinar. How do you sign up? It's not complicated. Most universities put you through the ringer when they take information and you've got to wait weeks and weeks, sometimes months, to know if you're accepted. You're waiting for that letter to come in the mail. Hopefully it's good news. With online university, it's a very simple and an easy process. You visit onlineuniversity.study. In the upper right, you click on register, enter your information, and then you're able to enroll in any of the courses. Once you find the course that's right for you, now you have to meet the eligibility requirements. Once you've done that, you can start studying immediately. The eligibility requirements to enter the programs are not very stringent. They're very easy to understand. Let's say you're first year in school. You're fresh out of secondary education and you want to start. All you need to be is 18 years old and have finished high school. For level 5, you would have to have the equivalent of level 4 or the first year at university. So let's see if you already started your education and you've already had 1 year of university, but something happened and you had to start working or there was a family emergency. You can get an associate's degree if you finish level 5. Now, for bachelor's and master's, they take in what is consideration work experience. If you've already been working for 5 years in a managerial role, for example, you do not have to have the equivalent bachelor's degree. For example, a master's, you need to be at least 24 years old, 5 years managerial degree, download the study contract off of our website, send us the CV, your student records from any previous learning you've done, and your identification, and we can accept you into the program. Again, this is based on the UK accreditation system and the qualification and exam governing system that determines if these qualifications are reasonable and meet all the requirements for that country. Once you've done that, now comes the hard part. For other online universities, you can expect to pay a lot more for these courses. For example, business management, a master's program, can run between £16,000 to £20,000. And this is for the master's program alone. They offer between 60 to 120 credit points, and you get varied individualized feedback. You're not sure if that university will have professors and instructors that you can interact with during the course. It really is self-learning. And what kind of accreditation are you getting? Is it good in one country but not the other? Are they following the framework of the EQF and the RQF? Are they following all the rules? Meaning, are they really an accredited university? And these are things you have to consider before you even pay the price. When it comes to education worldwide, however, we've got 120 ATHE fully transferable credits. Again, the accreditation, we take very proudly that we are matched with the UK system. Recognized all over the world. You get individualized feedback and support, not only through myself, I'm available for students who contact me, but through the modules themselves. Professors and instructors are available to contact you as well. Hybrid classes have been shown to have been the most effective way of doing online learning. What this means, you have self-study and face-to-face instructions through online classes and webinars. Most importantly, there are no additional fees. You don't pay for books, you don't pay for videos. The prices that we offer for tuition are the prices that you pay. So for bachelor's level, 4 through 6, in business management, you can pay €2,500. For master's, $5,900. In IT and computing, $2,500. And this is for each level. You're going to be saving quite a bit with online education. But we offer more than just online learning. We've got added value to add to that. First thing, interactive webinars. The virtual classroom. Modules will sometimes have scheduled classes that you can attend in order to query the instructor, get new information, learn from other students. And these are all available with your tuition. Direct contact with students is something that's hard to do with online learning. You could be part of a university and not know if anybody else is studying the same subject. What if you wanted to form a study group? Well, these things are solved very easily through our online forums. These forums are direct linked to you, the professors, and other students. They're very an interesting topic. It's not just like any other forum you'd see, for example, on movies or music. You're able to share resources. You're able to query each other, arrange online meetings with students from around the world. If you needed a tutor, they can communicate to you through this forum directly to boost your learning potential. Tests and assessments happen at the end of the program. Sometimes during the end of the module, you'll see various tests and assessments. And again, these are regulated by the Office of Qualifications and Education Framework in the UK. Everything is included in the tuition fee. We've got a question from one of the members. Is everything included in the tuition fee? Is it all included? Yes. Your tuition fee offers no hidden fees, no hidden costs. What you pay is what you get and everything you see here. Now, English may not be your first language. Although the courses are in English, there are a few options available to you to help ease that. We have instructors that are able to work with you face-to-face, online, to help you understand any particular subject you might need help in. But most importantly, all the materials are there for you to review over and over again as often as you need. For example, even this webinar, It'll be available to you online afterwards, and this presentation will be sent to you after the webinar for you to review at your leisure. Now, to sum up everything that we've discussed so far, the awarding body that offers these qualifications, ATHE, the Awards for Training in Higher Education, are ones that give you the equivalent records for the RQF and the EQF. And these are the levels that are standardized across Europe and the world. Through Education Worldwide, we offer these e-learning platforms with business management and IT. You're able to log on, enroll, and register very quickly, easily, and efficiently. We'll need, of course, the education contract, CV or applicable student records, and your identification. Once it's been approved, all you've got left to do is study. Now, your career choices, you can go directly to the workforce. You can start a company or work for a bigger corporation and improve your situation. The benefit is you're able to work anywhere in the world, specifically in Europe, because it matches the UK qualifications. So you can apply for a company and say, look, I've got the equivalent degree that says I've learned this topic in IT and computing. I've worked for a local company for 3 or 4 years, and I'm a very good employee. And they'll be able to look at you seriously. Or perhaps you'd really like the opportunity to travel to a different country and study there. Sometimes being a student in a new country is worth it. This gives you the opportunity as well. Once you have finished one course through the ATHE qualification, Education Worldwide, you're able to apply to any university and transfer your credits. If you transfer to an ATHE partner, they will often tell you exactly what you need to get that physical diploma from that university, and often at a discounted price. And of course, we've talked about the potential that you've got once you've gotten your degree. What are you going to do with it? Well, the vision, the goal, the plan, the action leads to success. We talked about the GPA, the goal, plan, action, at the beginning of the webinar. But the vision is yours. How do you see yourself? The question is, what do you want out of life? And I asked this again at the beginning of the webinar. Perhaps it was a difficult question to answer. But the path, the goal, the plan, and the action, we can definitely help you out with. Any profession that you are interested in, you're going to need higher education. It will benefit you for more money, for a better position, and Education Worldwide is the avenue and the door that will lead you to that. Once you've got that in action, now begins the challenge. And I will issue you a challenge. How will you start? It's up to you to take the next step. I can't do that for you. I challenge you to improve your condition, gain a higher education. How will you do it? Very simply. Maybe one day you hoped to save enough money to go to university, or maybe your grades were not good enough to get a scholarship. Maybe you wanted to travel to a foreign country. You spent some time in Erasmus and you really want to go back, but there's no means for you to do so. Perhaps you've gone to a local university and you were unable to finish for various different reasons. They didn't have the courses that you wanted to study, or the accreditation is a bit questionable and only works for your country. Well, I've given you the tools that you can do and you can use to defeat all of these problems. With a higher education qualification from Education Worldwide, you're able to travel to a different country. You're able to apply for these positions in these companies. You're able to improve your condition with these equivalent qualifications without paying the same cost that you would pay to go to a brick and mortar university. Well, I hope this short introduction has been very informational for you. If you've got any questions at all, you're always welcome to email me. I will send this to your emails for the registered attendees, so you will have this presentation available for you. Also, the links to watch this presentation will be available for you afterwards as well. I appreciate you coming by and learning about what Education Worldwide could do for you. If there are any questions, you can type them now in the chat box. They'll pop up on the screen and I'll be able to answer them for you. Once again, I'd like to thank you very much for your attendance. The next webinar that we're going to have will be March 1st at 5 p.m. For those further east, it'll be an earlier time. For those further west, well, you might have to be a bit later. Once again, thank you for attending our online university webinar. Visit us at onlineuniversity.study or eduworldwide.net. Have a great day and hope to see you at our next webinar.